In this video, I'll be showing you how to do partial EO prediction. So it should look something like this. And then OBO is solved. Also, a quick note before I start the video, I use white top and black bottom, so you have to adjust for the CO and EO for all the cases. That I always use white top and black bottom, so you have to kind of remember that during the video, because I know this is a pretty unconventional color scheme. So this method is quite similar to PCOP, or partial CO prediction. So if you don't know that method, or you haven't watched the video for that method yet, click the link here or in the description. That method is a prerequisite for this method for two reasons actually. The main one is that they both work in the same way, but also because if you want to predict EO during inspection, you kind of have to do CO first, because CO comes first, then EO. So quick review on PCOP. PCOP during inspection, during cube shape, you find out the one piece that will go to a hidden slot in the left side of the bottom layer. For example here, I would know that white is here, that would be over here after CS is done. So after do CS, look at from the last slice, use that information, the top slice, and this hidden slot, which was found during PCOP, to predict CO, and look ahead and do it from there. So in a similar fashion, it works the same way for partial EO prediction. So for each CS case or every base CS case, you want to have one edge piece that you know would end up in this left side or in this position. For example, in Scalp Kite, I would know it would be this edge position that would end up here. And to show you, it still went up there. Here I set up a case where I know I would get a CO skip. So this would show how to do EOP kind of in a similar way to COP. So here's Scalp Kite. I know that this piece will be here, so I know white is going to be here. So do the algorithm. From here, from the last slice, I can predict that white is going to be here from the look ahead. So white here and white here on the left. Just remember that. And now I see this. I have this out case. I know the white piece is going to be here from the look ahead, and then from the partial EO prediction, white's going to be here as well. So go ahead and do that, and then go straight into EO without a major pause. So that's one of the most basic cases for partial EO prediction, when you get a CO skip and go straight into EO. The main thing though is that during your last slice, you have to realize that you're going to get a CO skip, and you have to look at to these two edges in order to do EO right away. There are some more difficult cases for EOP, however. So pretty much you have to go through all the CO cases, know how each CO case affects that one edge, and you can use that information to do PEOP. Starting with this CO case where you just have this L here and this here, and it's just two move insert. That's pretty simple. So if you have it like this, obviously this would be perfect right after CS, because this edge will not be moved at all. So if you do this CO, you can look at to the last slice of that to do EO, because you already know that this piece will be the same as the partial EO prediction piece. A case like this will also be pretty simple for partial EO prediction, because you're not moving the bottom layer again, which is good because that keeps this edge in the same place as it was. So do CO, look at to the EO, and you know that this piece will be the same as before. However, if the white piece is on the left side, you start getting some problems because you have to turn the D layer, which means you have to turn this EOP piece, which is not good. The solution is to not get this piece on the top layer. And the main reason why you want to do this is because once this gets on the top layer, you can't use it because the top layer is everything you already see. The point of this edge piece though is to be on the bottom layer, so you're able to tell something without looking at the bottom layer. But if this is on the top layer, then you're getting no information. So the key is to always keep this piece on the bottom layer again. So in this case, to keep this edge on the bottom layer is pretty simple. You can do something like this, where you misalign the bottom and keep this on the bottom layer, insert it like that, and now you do PEOP, but you have to remember that this is your PEOP piece. Look at these two edges, and you can still predict EO. Another alternative is something like this, where you do something like that. Again, the idea is you have to preserve this edge and keep it on the bottom layer. If the white corner is in the back, same idea, make sure you're preserving this edge piece. So here I'll do something like this, make sure the edge piece is in the back, and then do CO, and look ahead of these two edges, and your PEOP piece would be right here. So here's an example of Scalp Kite, PCOP piece would be white, which is this. PEOP piece would be black, which is this. So white and black. So let's do CS. From look ahead, these are black, this is white. From PCOP, this back piece is white, so go straight into CO, knowing this is white. But remember, we have to preserve this edge piece, which is black, so we can look ahead into EO. So yeah, the way I would do it is something like this. U prime and then make the white bottom and then go like that into CO. And notice how this black piece is preserved because I misaligned the top layer, not the bottom. So again, the PEOP piece is on the bottom. So from here, I know that PEOP piece is black. I can look at here, white and black, okay. And I can go straight into EO because this is black, this is black, this is white. Look ahead, this is the one case, so go straight into EO, knowing that the white piece is here. Here's another pretty easy CO case for PEOP with diagonal corners. So over here, it's 2 slices. First slice is pretty simple, just to make the 2 and 2. But for this, you have to remember, again, preserve this piece. So as I get to the second slice here, make sure to misalign the bottom layer in order to preserve this piece. If it's something like this, same idea, preserve this piece instead. So this piece should be reserved. Make sure it doesn't get to the top layer. So misalign the top this time and align the bottom. So here's another quick example. Scallop kite. PCOP piece for corners is white. For edges it is black. So diag case, because this is white. PCOP from here, this is white. So here I would do the CO. Make sure to preserve this piece. So, and you'll notice that as you do that, it does CO, but it preserved this piece in the back. Alright, so I know the PEOP piece is black, which is back here. This is white, black. So knowing that this is black, that means this has to be white. And then from that look ahead, white, white. And then L case here, then go straight into EO. Here's another CO case, which is not too horrible. So if you have this where I have the CS, it's pretty simple because this edge is not changed. Just solve the CO like that. If the white piece is here, it's pretty simple still. Just do a D, but preserve this piece again, and then go straight into CO. And then PEOP piece is here. If the white's here in the back, also pretty simple, just do a D prime, and PEOP piece is here. So it's back there, go straight into this, and then look ahead here, and then know this last piece for PEOP. If you have the white on the left though, you can't do a D2 and then go into CO because this is your PEOP piece and you want it to stay on the bottom. So here you have to be a bit clever. There's a lot of ways you can do this differently, but here's one way to do it. Make the white on top first. Look ahead to this last slice. Now this is your new PEOP piece. So it's white, D2. And then from this last slice, look ahead into the EO. So this is white, and use these 2 pieces to go straight into the EO. So quick example, scallop kite again. PCOP and PEOP are both black, so that's easy to remember. So CS, I see 2 whites here already, so just go straight into CO. And I know this piece is going to be black from PEOP. So CO, and then here, black, black. So these 2 are black from PEOP, this is black, so this has to be white in the back. So go straight into EO. Here's another CO case. These are actually cases that I quite like a lot because in these cases you pretty much always throw out the EOP piece and just look at everything else. So kind of like the last case, it's quite difficult to preserve this edge while making a CO. So instead you just throw out this edge, forget it in your memory, and then look at to some new PEOP piece. In this case, the PEOP piece that you're going to use instead of the old one that you memorized is this one. And you'll actually see this a lot with this method, that these pieces are going to be used a lot. So it doesn't matter if you have this aligned or like that, it doesn't matter. If you do the CO from here, this piece always ends up here. If it's aligned like this, however, you would want to misalign the bottom layer. That's one option, to use this PEOP piece. Another option is do a D and then do this regular alignment to get that piece here. Another way you can do this is you can pick this PEOP piece as you look ahead there. So yeah, for cases like this CO case, pretty much you throw out your PEOP piece and just look ahead everything else for EO. Find some piece that ends up in a left slice, look at that last slice, just gonna look ahead, then predict the EO. Another example, scallop kite again, white PCOP, black PEOP, standard stuff. Now I'm left with this thing. I noticed that I have this, and then this from PCOP. So knowing I have this CO case, I can just forget this black PEOP piece and then look at this white piece. So now I know this is my PEOP piece. So white's gonna be on the left side. Do CO. From here I know black's gonna be front right. White's gonna be here. So last white piece has to be here in the back. And then go to EO. For the rest of these CO cases, I won't show examples because it's kind of intuitive at this point. Pretty much just look ahead everything. So in this case, some people do this CO weirdly with 3 slices. I do it with 2. So with 2 slices, it's actually pretty easy to find a PEOP. For here, I would always use this piece. So throw out whatever PEOP piece you had in memory from CS and then change it to this piece on the right side here. So I know it's black. And it ends up there. Again, this piece is the new PEOP piece. Now this one case is potentially the worst case, which is the 1 slice CO. If it's already here on the left and you have the line here, simply just slice and predict using this piece. If the line's in the front after CS, just simply preserve that edge. Slice, that's pretty simple. If the white's in the back, preserve this edge by doing that and then slice. And use this back piece for PEOP. If the white's on the left though, there's pretty much nothing they can do for PEOP because the corners that you want to bring to the top layer are attached to this PEOP piece. So no matter what, this piece is going to go to the top layer. So the solution to this is not a great one, but after CS, predict this edge as well. And then now that becomes your new PEOP piece. And then do a D2 and then slice. And then no, this is going to be black and then look ahead from here. So I think I covered all the CO cases and how the edge influences for all of them and how to do each angle for the D layer. And even if I didn't cover all the CO cases, I think it's pretty simple to figure out the rest on your own. So the basic idea is pretty simple. For all your CS cases, memorize that one edge piece, which would go here. For your CO case, you want to preserve this piece if possible. If you can't, ditch this piece and find a new PEOP piece that would be over there. And then after you do CO, you already know what this piece will be and use partial EO prediction with the last slice of CO to do your EO without any major pause. So as you can see, this method is really hard and involves a lot of thinking. I think I used this method for a few weeks, but then I had a competition coming up and I didn't want to mess up my solve, so I just switched back to what I used to do. So I think this method could be good, but it requires a ton of practice and a ton of thinking and getting good at this method. So I still use PCOP, but I don't use this method, and the main reason why is because there's just so much thinking. There's so many different CO cases you have to do, and there's different options you can have. Sometimes you have to look ahead during the last slice of CS. Sometimes you have to find some other piece during CO. Sometimes you have to memorize how to preserve this alignment, and it's just too much thinking. One thing that also sucks is that you have to always preserve this piece, so you end up getting some bad OBO solutions and some solutions where you have the bottom misaligned and then top misaligned and you switch that, which is not that comfortable during CO. The goal of this method was to avoid any pauses during CS and OBO, so just do CS and then OBO and go straight into PBO, which sounded really nice, but now that you look at this method, it's quite difficult. I still think it has potential, but it's pretty difficult to master. So I kind of gave up this method a year ago, so I'm not sure if I really recommend it, but I think it's a pretty neat concept. I still use some of the concepts actually. Like stuff like this, where you have this piece going here. It's not really PEOP, but it's kind of like a look ahead for EO. I still use concepts like this to predict EO. But like for EOP, predicting the edge piece, I don't do that anymore because it's way too complicated to try to preserve that. So I just predict EO whenever I can, but if I can't, I just don't predict EO because it's too difficult. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this interesting method, and thanks for watching.